artist fatigue, venue fatigue, algo fatigue. So, let's dance. Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear, powered by too many open browser tabs and brought to you by NoDisk, helping music technology and finance companies navigate the music industry and partnered with Digital Music News. It's August 24th, 2026. I'm Lars Murray. It's Monday, where we talk about what happened over the weekend and what is on deck for this week. Over the weekend, Katseye and Phobe Bridgers came out numbers 1 and 2 on the Billboard Albums chart, respectively. And what do they have in common? No, not that they're female artists. That's not news. That they are both on Interscope? No, not really. Actually, Phoebe's record is on Dead Oceans. Boy Genius is on Interscope. No, the thing that they have in common is health issues. Sophia from Katseye announced 2 weeks ago that she was stepping away for a spell to deal with some mental health issues, so she's the second member of that group to have stepped away this year, following in the steps of Manon. So, while they're both in the group, Katseye is operating shorthanded as they celebrate their number 1. Meanwhile, Phobe Bridgers developed appendicitis and ended up in the hospital last week, just after her release date. All of this comes right on the heels of Ariana Grande topping the chart and tapping out for a while because she was, tapped out. This is kind of beginning to look like a pattern. Being a successful recording artist has never been easy, despite what most people think. The more success, the more demands, the more pressure, and undoubtedly the 24/7 socially driven environment where you have to not only make music and tour, but crank out content on your own doesn't make it any easier. But whether those health issues are physical or mental, though, you're not going to convince me that they're not related to the grind. Get well soon, Sophia, Phoebe, and Manon. And hey, people around them, try and help them find a little more balance. Thomas Smith had the Phoebe story over at Billboard. Kate Atkinson and Keith Caulfield had the Sophia coverage a while back, also at Billboard. What's a little odd to me is that nobody is connecting the dots. Maybe because music media is being gutted. For instance, if you Google Phoebe Bridgers appendicitis, you get an AI summary and a citation of her socials and Rolling Stone, where a year ago there might have been 4 or 5 outlets to choose from in a Google search. This is not good, people. Though maybe there is hope for human reporting and curation coming from, of all places, Spotify. You might say I've been a little critical of their increasing dehumanization over the past few years, but it's quite possible that the combination of a flood of AI slop and hyper-reliance on algos might have gone too far even there. Looks like AI algo fatigue may be a thing. To wit, at the end of last week, Spotify announced the new feature called Playlist Notes, which attempts to add a pretty basic feature to Spotify playlists. That would be descriptions of the what, when, and why a user created a playlist. Would have been nice to have that feature when I was creating my 300 or so playlists on Spotify. Of course, my primary service right now is Qobuz. But Spotify deserves acknowledgement when they do something right, and they're not just doing it for the users. They have once again put their own playlist creators, who are publicly using the tool, out in front, something they had stopped doing, presumably because they lost curation talent like the famous Tuma Basa to other services and labels. As with adding lossless audio, the timetable of this change says a lot about Spotify's priorities, but again, this is a rare retreat from their steady march toward enshittification. This one was covered everywhere, but my favorite post was from former ShareMyPlaylist.com founder Kieran Donahue over on LinkedIn. Chart-topping artists and streaming service algorithms aren't the only thing subject to debilitating fatigue. Turns out Bonnaroo's famed festival site is also a little overwhelmed, and it too needs a bit of time off to recover. That time off will be the year 2027. Yep, after 2 years in a row of weather-based interruptions/cancellations, despite significant improvements to the facility, last week the organizers announced that the show will not go on in 2027, giving the site a chance to rest. That's got to be a painful decision, but it's a hell of a lot less painful than a last-minute cancellation. And Bonnaroo's insurance premiums certainly can't be getting any cheaper. I've never been to Bonnaroo, mostly because it's always seemed in the best of years like a bit of a weather nightmare, but best of luck to all concerned, turning things around. When you are surrounded by fatigue, there's only one thing to do. Let's dance! There is one sector of the music industry not really showing fatigue. That would be dance music, which is having another of its periodic resurgences. Over at Billboard, Katie Bain has a State of the Dance Music Industry piece highlighting how dance music is growing at a rate faster than the industry at large. Hopefully the dance sector, though, has learned a little about running its artists into the ground since Avicii's premature demise, brought about by, yes, fatigue, all the way back in 2018. I'm not sure about that. Looking at the week ahead, with the VMAs knocked back into late September this year, it's a clear field for the BMI R&B Hip Hop Awards in LA this week. That event happens on Wednesday. Over in the UK, Pepsi has leaned in hard as the sponsor of not one, not two, but three festivals this coming weekend. First of all, those hard-working artists of dance music will be congregating at the Creamfields Festival in Danesbury all weekend. Just about everybody you've ever heard of is doing a set there. And the twin Reading and Leeds festivals with their shared lineups will be happening in Reading and Leeds, with Florence and the Machine, Charlie XCX, Fontaines, and more topping the bill. And on the finance front, the Big Mean Germans, or actually the parent company of the Big Mean Germans, BMG, Bertelsmann, will be having its half-year earnings report call. That one's happening on Friday. A few music folks celebrating birthdays this week. Podcast brother Jay Gilbert of Your Morning Coffee. Go listen to that podcast. Content wizard and Deuce brother, if you know, Bill Crandall. Content wizard and Columbia Blue Team graduate Nick Simmons. Creative wizard and OG cool guy Josh Cheuse. Catalog marketing wizard Philip Bailey, and high-level crisis doctor Jeanne Meyer. Happy birthday, everybody. Support for Unlimited Supply is provided by you, our listeners. If you want to join the few, the proud, the elite supporters of Unlimited Supply and wear your Unlimited Supply trucker hat as a symbol of your style and sophistication, there's a link in the show notes and on our website. If you like what you hear, please hit that follow button wherever you get your pods. I live for your praise and encouragement, but it really helps if you share that praise as a rating and or a review on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Spotify, and tell a friend or three. And now we're on Substack, which is really the best way to follow us. Hit subscribe, not follow, over on Substack. Links are in the show notes, but you can also visit unlimitedsupplypod.com to sign up for our newsletter, to tell us what you think about the show, to suggest feature ideas, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, to call us out on our dubious assertions, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict means no interest.